Happy New Year! Yeah! Happy New Year! Yeah! Woohoo! Hello, my nostrils. Welcome back to the Nashville Nose. I'm your host, as always, Dr. Magnifiscent. And the new year is right around the corner. Remember back in 2020, we were so excited to get to 2021, and now we're at the end of it, and we're like, hey, 2021, you, bring on 2022. Yeah, it hasn't been much better, but yet, here we are again, still clinging to hope for the next one. Most importantly, though, how you gonna smell at the New Year's party? I got 10 perfect party fragrances to rock for New Year's, and this is an unranked list, all bangers. Now, depending on where you live, it may be cold, it may be warm, but we are still gonna be partying in the dead of winter, so we gotta find something that's gonna be lively and bright and fun, yet strong and dense enough to cut through the cold air. And depending on the occasion, formal, playful, casual, or paint the town red, this list will hit them all. Before we get into it though, I want to start with an honorable mention, and it's Yves Saint Laurent's Y Le Parfum. After I already constructed my top 10 list, this one popped into my mind a little bit later, and I felt like I couldn't fully exclude it from the video. The reason this one didn't actually make the top 10 is because I have two in there that are already very similar, and I wanted the list to be more diverse. That's not to say this doesn't have its own voice though. It's the more grown-up version of the Y EDP, and I absolutely prefer this to that. The EDP is a widely loved scent, and it's great for what it is, but at this point in my life, it just does nothing for me. It's very basic in my opinion, but this one was special enough for me to justify purchasing. A lot of the notes are fairly typical for a designer of this ilk: apple, aldehydes, grapefruit, ginger, lavender, tonka bean, but then the cedar and patchouli help to take it in a more interesting direction in the dry down. So I think it's absolutely worth considering, but for now, let's get to my top 10 list of New Year's party scents. The Doctor is now in. Number 10. Ooh, setting the bar high with this one, boy. Parfums de Marly, Pegasus Exclusif. This one may be my favorite PDM, but it's hard to just pick one because this house churns out nothing but excellence. It's a flanker of the original Pegasus, which is known for its almond, vanilla, lavender blend. Exclusif adds cardamom, pink pepper, and oud, and that, combined with the already great Pegasus DNA, oh man. I remember sampling this at Nordstrom while my girl was dress shopping for a bachelorette party, and for the whole day, I couldn't stop smelling my hand. People probably thought I was out of my mind, because all day I was just like, oh yeah, oh daddy, give me more. I knew it was a must-have, and I paid full retail. I couldn't find it on any discounters at the time, so I couldn't say no. Oh, I don't care though. I love you, PE. You deserve the same price tag as Aventus. Yeah, I said it. It's amazing all around, great all year, and like most PDMs, beast-like performance. Oh no, did I dare speak the name Aventus? Ah! Back, get out of here. You're not on this list. Yes, Creed Aventus is probably the ultimate going out fragrance of all time, but in the cold air, come on. So therefore, I have to select Nishane's Hacivat for number 9. I've mentioned this before, and again, no, it's not a direct Aventus clone, but it has a very similar scent DNA, mostly because of the pineapple, and every pineapple scent gets compared to Aventus. It's just always gonna happen. When it comes to performance though, that's where this really shines. And this is why we love Nishane. They're all extrait de parfums. They know how to take notes that normally wouldn't last and make them last. Along with pineapple up top, you got grapefruit and bergamot, and then cedar, patchouli, and oak moss give it some good backbone. Usually fruits and citruses are the first things to go. They dissipate pretty quickly. Oddly though, this keeps those top notes pumping for 8-10 hours. So whether it's cold or warm outside, this thing will keep you smelling juicy and delicious all day, all night. But if you want something on the designer end that's more geared towards the club scene, what's the one fragrance that comes to mind? Did you guess it? No, not Aventus, the other one. Any guess? No, not really, give a guess. I'll wait. What was that? Oh, yes, correct, yes, you got it. Dior Sauvage. Oh, don't look at me that way, come on. I'm not as big of a snob as you may think. I have a lot of overplayed designer scents because sometimes you want that. They're designed to be loved by the masses. But for some reason, I just can't bring myself to buy a bottle of Sauvage. It's just so overhyped and overused. Everyone and their uncle owns it. It's almost like it was just crushed under the weight of its own popularity, in my opinion. But it was another game changer, just like a familiar scent we don't speak of anymore that we mentioned earlier. The problem I have with Sauvage has nothing to do with its smell or performance. It's solid in those categories. I just don't want to wear it because I know anywhere I go, I'll smell like 90% of the guys already there. And of course, nothing against you, Johnny Depp. You're cool. It's not you, it's me. However, even after all of that, out of curiosity, I did try their Elixir flanker in Ulta one time while my girlfriend was shopping for makeup, and my immediate thought was, F***. They got me. Damn you, Johnny! So I finally did it. I finally bought a Sauvage, but it's Dior Sauvage Elixir at number 8. This smells very different than the original though, which is what I like about it. Cardamom, grapefruit, lavender, and licorice are some of the additional notes. You still get that mass appealing Sauvage sexiness without smelling identical to the guy standing 3 feet behind you. But if you want to stand out even more, check your temp with Fahrenheit Les Parfums, also from Dior, our number 7 pick. Man, this one is just so astonishing yet fully understood at the same time. What I love about this is just how well refined this blend is. When I read these notes, I expect it to be more challenging, but somehow it has this overall mass appeal nature to it. Along with mandarin orange, you also have suede, rum, cumin, coriander, and bourbon vanilla. It's bright and crisp, yet has this warm, sweet, and boozy energy in there. It just goes to show you the art of the blend because they did such a great job mixing these pungent ingredients you wouldn't think together would make something so ozonic and pleasant. It's like a major Hollywood film studio who takes on an artsy indie script for street cred. Or that whimsical character actor who somehow lands themselves a role in a Marvel movie and ends up stealing every scene because they speak to your inner weirdo. That's how this one speaks to me! It's popular, but one you don't hear about quite as much. Only thing I wish it had more of was that gasoline note I hear a lot about from the older formulations. When it first came out in the 80s, it had some sort of sharp metallic vibe that some have said reminded them of gasoline. I'm quite curious about that. Still, this one is so cool. I blind bought this and didn't know how I would feel about it, and I was beyond pleasantly surprised. Another great flanker of another very successful designer release, and more affordable than those Diors. Ultra Male by Jean-Paul Gaultier at number 6. We all know and love the original Le Male, created by the great Francis Kurkdjian. In fact, Le Male was the first fragrance I ever bought, so I'll always feel attached to it. I was immediately hooked by the mint, lavender, cardamom, vanilla combo. Ultra Male adds pear and lemon, then patchouli, which gives it a lot of depth, and I think helps to qualify this as a passable winter fragrance. But at the same time, it is still an eau de toilette, which are more geared for warm weather. So I'm gonna count this as a decent pick for New Year's, but if an EDT won't cut it in the winter and you want something similar but performs a little better, I would actually suggest Armani code Profumo, which is an eau de parfum, and still quite affordable. I've talked about Armani code Absolu before, very rich and warm. Profumo is more like the younger party animal brother to Absolu. Apple tonka bean and a touch of leather definitely gives this some maturity, but it still has that same playful, youthful, party people, bangalicious vibe as Ultra Male, and of course in a denser concentration. It's louder, bolder, and lasts longer, and people love the way this smells. So I would probably tie this one with Ultra Male for the number 6 spot due to their similar style. Final thoughts on this number 6 pick. Ultra Male for an indoor hang, code Profumo for an outdoor hang. Side note, those two are the ones I find similar to Why Les Parfums, and therefore the reason why it was left as an honorable mention for the sake of diversity. But like I said earlier, even though they're all similar, they each bring something unique to the table. Or you can just wear this next little gem to the New Year's party, which encompasses the best of all worlds, Bleu de Chanel Parfum at number 5. And right now, if you were to look me in the face and say, whoa, 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 Bleu de Chanel in the winter? What's going on with you, doctor? Have you finally fully lost it? Bleu de Chanel is a world-famous summer scent. And you'd be absolutely right, the entire line is perfect for the summertime, but if you don't want to wait that long and you want that iconic smell in the winter, then go with the Parfum concentration. It's basically the same scent DNA on steroids. Citrus, mint, cedar, ISO-E super, but this one swaps the ginger in the original for pineapple. No. Down boy. Just a little bit of pineapple and the addition of amberwood and tonka bean to help make this one a little more base heavy. I personally prefer darker scents in the winter, but I know a lot of people who want to rock the same scent all year round, so I would suggest the EDT in the summer days, the EDP in the summer nights, and the Parfum for summer nights or anytime in the cooler months. Of course, if you only want to buy one instead of all 3 of them like me because I'm crazy, I would have to say the Eau de Parfum may be the most versatile and right between those other two price-wise. But I truly believe the Parfum is perfect for pulling off this scent in the winter. Again, you should try them all to see which one smells and performs best on you, which you can easily do at any mall department store. Either way, there are no rules. It's Bleu de Chanel. You can't go wrong. Sticking with the same color scheme, but on the opposite side of the planet, they call this one the Blue Beast for a reason, and of course, it's Interlude Man by Amouage at number 4. This is one of my favorite houses based in Oman, a country bordering the Persian Gulf. You can smell that Middle Eastern inspiration in all of their scents. It's magical, and this one, to me, seems like their take on a blue fragrance. It gets its nickname due to its performance. It's very strong and powerful and exudes luxury while maintaining a playful attitude. It's like a young Arabian prince on the dating scene. You'll smell important and fun. Oregano, pepper, incense, oud, leather, amber, patchouli, a papanax, which is like a balsamic sweet myrrh. Lots of heavy sounding ingredients, yet this is probably one of the closest to what would be considered more on the safer side. But compared to the mainstream designer fragrances, this exotic rarity will really set you apart. I would still sample first, and I think that goes for all Amouages. Maybe except for Honor Man, which is their super easy freshie. The Blue Beast, though, absolutely worth getting your nose on. I'm a huge fan. Now let's throw a real wrench in the works, shall we? What the hell? I'm gonna throw in Mancera Red Tobacco at number 3. Y'all know how I feel about my tobaccos, and this is one of the best out there, and the best part is, it's not that expensive. This is why we love Mancera. Don't let the price fool you. It's top notch in quality and performance. And this is where I believe it might be more versatile than people think. Yes, it's robust and bold, and if the occasion is formal, then this gorgeous blend of tobacco, incense, green apple, vanilla, and oud will fit the bill. But if you wear this to a club or a bar or a house party, it's highly likely you won't smell like anyone else there. So on being very unique and also pleasing, this would get you a lot of attention. Then again, if you really think it just may be too strong for you and you still want something unique, but maybe a bit more on the smoother side, again from the house of Nishane, this is Fan Your Flames at number 2. Also centered around tobacco, but in more of a supporting role. This is boozy with a rum accord, and then they hit you with coconut. Along with tonka bean, cedar, and oak moss, this to me feels like a cool tropical nighttime scent. The tobacco is more on the dirty, ashy side, but in a good way. Such a cool and unique scent. This is one of my favorites from this house. I could see this working great at like an upscale bar with like a farmhouse chic aesthetic. God knows we have no shortage of those in Nashville. Last but certainly not least, I think I can officially call this my all-time favorite release I've ever smelled from this house. It's Blessed Baraka by Initio. This will fill you with happy feels all the way into your bones. Every time I wear this, people can't help but comment on how good it smells, which could be partially because all Initios are beasts. They project and they last, which shouldn't come as a surprise because they're a sister house to Parfums de Marly. So this whole family knows how to make Broadway star equivalent performers. What I really love about this one is the simplicity. The only notes listed on their website are white flowers, amber, sandalwood, vanilla, and musk. It's sexy with the musk, creamy with the sandalwood and vanilla, and warm with the amber. To my nose, it has a freshness to it, and I don't know where it's coming from exactly by these notes listed. Maybe the white flowers, but it could just be the perfect proportions of all of the notes put together. I have a lot of Initios in my collection. They just do it for me. I think I'll make a video dedicated to all of them someday, so you better subscribe if you want to see that. If I were to just have one of these in my collection though, it would probably be this one. And there you go, there you have it, my top 10 New Year's party scents for this year. Now I turn it to you. I wanna know what scents you're splashing on to make a splash for the new year. Leave a comment down below so we can all explore new things and learn about amazing scents we may haven't tried yet, but we do it together, cause this ain't just a YouTube channel. Say it with me. It's a community. Don't forget to like and subscribe, bitches! And hit that bell like whatever noisy thing you'll be hitting at the stroke of midnight. This one's mine. Thank you all so much for spending your time with me. Here's to your resolution for smelling good. See you in 2022. Let's hope it's at least a little better than the last one. The doctor is out.